heritage as Kenya's trusted national broadcaster. Commanding over 92% digital television signal coverage of our country, 23 radio services that cut across our entire language spectrum, a national, regional and international digital presence backed by the most experienced and top-notch broadcast professionals in the industry.
Very good evening to you.
The new look Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is truly ahead of the pack. Turn to the mother of broadcasting in Kenya for stories that resonate with our identity, our aspirations as a people united in purpose. Real stories of hard work, of passion, of creativity, of big dreams. Stories that cement our nationhood. Stories that bring us together as one. We take pride in our shared heritage and destiny. KBC. Informing, educating and entertaining Kenyans as one nation. KBC. Kenya's listening. Kenya's watching.
Hayawi huwa mbiu ya mgambo imelia, na kwa kawaida ikilia kuna jambo.
Mgambo uliopo hapa ni rumba kavacha, odemba na sukus.
Tutakupromoshea midundo moto ya Afrika, iwe kutoka kaskazini, kusini, magharibi na hata mashariki.
Rumba is here in your living room.
Na popote ulipo.
This is Bridge of a Congo.
Nzambe ya sambe la kati, ako sambe la nani?
Right here on KBC Channel 1.
Get the VIP access to the best shows on KBC Channel 1. We have something different, something special to spice you up. Get ready for new, exciting and captivating dramas. Movies.
Love the smell.
Comedy.
I went to the Popos. Huh?
Drama.
Will you assault the Queen in my house, in my presence?
News, sports and so much more. Do the things that make you happy on KBC Channel 1.
Virusi vya korona huenea unapokaribiana na mtu aliyeambukizwa kupitia matone, haswa wakati anapokohoa au kupiga chafya, na pia kwa kugusa sehemu au vifaa vilivyo na virusi hivi. Ukihisi dalili kama vile kupandwa na joto, kikohozi, maumivu mwilini na ugumu wa kupumua, na unashuku ulikaribiana na mwadhiriwa, jitenge kisha piga nambari 719 ili upate usaidizi. Mtu yeyote anaishi na maradhi sugu kama vile virusi vya HIV, kifua kikuu, saratani na mengineo anashauriwa kutumia dawa zake jinsi alivyoshauriwa na daktari bila kukosa. Komesha korona. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na serikali ya Kenya.
The future of money is simple, like unlocking possibilities with a smile. And having the world in the palm of your hand. It's the ability to touch many lives at the same time and turn your dreams into reality. It's forgetting and still remembering. Simple is having everything that you love in one place. From the ticket to your next meal, to your ticket to the next holiday. It's an easy way to ask for a boost when you're low. And keeping track of everything on the go. The future of money is simple, and it's here. Download the new M-Pesa app today.
A very good evening to you. Thank you very much for making time to join us here on Business Insight this particular evening, the 1st of July 2021. Happy new month to you. Remember, you can join us during this particular bulletin online at Betty Kiptum at KBC Channel 1 on both Twitter and on Facebook. Tonight we have a lot quite lined up for you, including the latest on the Building Bridges Initiative appeal, as well as why Taita Taveta farmers are switching to potato farming. And later on we will have sports, but here is Munga. So Munga, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, good evening, Kiptum. Good to have you back, of course. In the world of sports, the national trials to select Team Kenya, the team that is set to represent the country in the upcoming World Under-20 Athletics Championship. The trials began today and they run through to Saturday. Oh, I'm Richard Munga and I'll be giving you all the details as well as more sports updates later on. See you then.
Thank you, Richard. You shall be seeing Richard a little bit later, but now to our top story. Respondents who support the High Court ruling nullifying the Building Bridges Initiative bill want the Court of Appeal to throw out the case by petitioners, claiming the Constitution is anchored in eternity clauses that cannot be repealed through the BBI process. The respondents told the court that the petitioners have failed to demonstrate that the President was just a supporter of the initiative and not a promoter of the process. Lawyer Elias Mutuma, representing Third Way Alliance, challenged the assertions by the BBI Secretariat and Raila Odinga that Dennis Waweru and Suna East MP Junet Mohammed were the initiators of the BBI.
Third Way Alliance lawyers in the BBI petition at the Court of Appeal questioned the President's involvement in the process, saying he should have recused himself from his office if he needed to initiate a popular initiative.
So if the President then wants to initiate such a process as a citizen, he must of all do exactly that. Announce to us that this is not the President doing this, it is me as a citizen.
According to respondents in the petition who support the High Court ruling, the Constitution is anchored on eternity clause that cannot be repealed through the same Constitution, but outside its confines.
Involve the people directly in a manner that they are amending, or rather they are creating a new document altogether.
His sentiments supported by Professor Kithure Kindiki, who says the rushed BBI process, likened to the Simon Makonde story, had the President's footprints all over.
The launch of the collection of signatures exercise and all other events associated with this ill-fated exercise or process were presided over by the President of the Republic of Kenya, using state machinery, and none of these meetings or events took place in anybody's private home.
Kindiki would further table the findings of the JLAC report that shows evidence that the proposals were unconstitutional.
It was clear from the report and from the Hansard proceedings that the finding of the report was that many provisions in the bill, the proposed amendment bill, were unconstitutional.
David Ndii and four others, through their lawyers, Nelson Harvey and Esther Angawa, demonstrated how the bill was aimed at tampering with independence of the judiciary by introduction of the ombudsman.
It has sought to interfere with the independence of the judiciary by installing an executive prefect in the name of Obchinski, aka Ombudsman.
Verification of the signatures, public participation, as well as debate on multiple questions form the basis of the respondents' arguments.
Cannot say that provision requiring a quorum of 5 does not exist today because of a declaration of unconstitutionality made by Justice Chacha Mwita on 6th of April 2018.
But whenever we have a referendum in our nation, there should be a nationwide voter registration exercise. Secondly, that we must always have a multi-choice referendum.
It does not
comply with Article 10 of the Constitution. There was no public participation.
With a day remaining to the conclusion of the hearing of the BBI appeals, the opposing respondents continue to give their submissions, and thereafter the judges will be required to retire to go through the submissions and subsequently give a judgment. For Business Insight, I'm Sarafina Robbie.
Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta on Thursday met his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron at Élysée Palace in Paris to discuss progress of the French-supported expansion of a 233-kilometer Rironi-Nakuru-Mau Summit Road, whose construction is set to kick off in September this year. Besides infrastructure, Presidents Kenyatta and Macron discussed enhanced cooperation in the health sector, particularly in building Kenya's capacity to manufacture vaccines locally.
The public-private agreement to expand the Northern Corridor Road into a four-lane dual carriageway and reduce congestion at a cost of 160 billion shillings was reached during President Kenyatta's visit to Paris in October last year. Besides infrastructure, President Kenyatta and Macron discussed enhanced cooperation in the health sector, particularly in building Kenya's capacity to manufacture vaccines locally. The two also discussed the forthcoming Global Partnership for Education Summit in London to be co-hosted by President Kenyatta and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The summit is set for 28th and 29th this month and aims at raising $5 billion in 5 years for investment in education of 175 million children in low-income countries across the world. Reporting for Business Insight, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Back home, a section of leaders allied to Deputy President William Ruto has alleged that government agencies are increasingly using the anti-corruption calls to stifle independent voices. Speaking after holding a meeting with the DP in Karen, the leaders said the fight against corruption must not be politicized. The leaders spoke even as KANU chairman Gideon Moi drummed up support for Jubilee candidate Karirin Jama in the ongoing campaigns for the Kiambaa parliamentary by-election.
They need to stop weaponizing corruption in this country, and that is the reason we are not getting anywhere.
Kama kweli wewe unapigana na ufisadi, inakuwaje kama umeitwa huko unaambiwa lakini wewe si utone down, si upite pande hii na story ishe?
And there is no coincidence that the most corrupt of our political leaders, if they are not inclined to work with the Deputy President, they are roaming free and looting public assets and public property with impunity.
The fight against corruption will succeed the day we remove politics from that fight. The fight against corruption will succeed the day we remove ethnic or political lenses. And we prosecute corruption as corruption.
In the forthcoming campaigns which are ongoing, we will support our candidate, the Jubilee candidate here, and we've all resolved that we'll do our utmost to ensure that we have a successful outcome to it, and we are very confident that the people will deliver a favorable verdict.
To health matters now, top scientists in Africa have partnered to harness various conversations and proposals into action to guarantee availability of vaccines on the continent. The Pan-African Foundation for Pandemic Disease Response is working on a framework that will pave way for the manufacture of vaccines in Africa. The continent currently lags behind in COVID-19 vaccination in what experts have attributed to Africa's total dependence on vaccine importation.
Africa has fallen behind in the race to vaccinate its 1.3 billion people against COVID-19 due to a shortage of vaccines. However, the continent is in the race to self-reliance following the launch of the Sisulu Foundation, which is expected to spearhead Africa's vaccine production.
Be able to see the inequity in that a young person of 25 years in the developed world would be able to have access to the vaccine, but has a very low risk of severe COVID disease. Yet a 60-year-old person in Africa with coexistent morbidities, hypertension, diabetes, coronary heart disease would not be able to access the vaccine. These are some of the hard lessons that the pandemic has taught us, and it has, out of this, we have decided to come together as one continent to be able to develop local solutions for our problems.
Acting Director General in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, says that researchers are monitoring the response of the AstraZeneca vaccine to determine if a booster dose would be necessary after the second dose.
So if we see that a large population of people, the immune system is going below that threshold in a given period of time, then we recommend a booster. It's too early now to say so.
So we still need a period of observation to be able to tell us when the antibody levels begin to wane and when it will be logically be feasible to give a third dose.
Kenya anticipates the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
In some countries like Spain, Germany, those who receive their first dose of Pfizer vaccine or AstraZeneca vaccine have gotten the reverse. So if you got Pfizer as your first, and most of them got Pfizer, so second they've been given a different vaccine. So again, data will emerge from that particular platform to be able to advise us.
In the last 24 hours, Kenya has recorded 376 new COVID-19 cases out of a sample size of 3,831. The figures represent a 9.8% positivity rate. 6 deaths have been recorded over the same period. So far, out of the over 1 million COVID-19 doses administered so far, 406,146 are second doses. As the globe continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers across Africa have collaborated to manufacture vaccines locally amid the supply constraints that have seen most African countries lag behind in the vaccination drive. Nancy Okware, Business Insight.
A middle-aged woman is nursing injuries following an alleged forced circumcision. The woman is said to have been cornered by the husband in what neighbors suspect could be in keeping with the beliefs of the outlawed sect in the region.
In pain and on the run with her 2 daughters, she requests that we keep her name a secret for fears that her alleged tormentors could still be after her.
Hiyo siku walikuwa wanaume na mwenye alijia ni mzee wangu akanifungulisha nyumba, mimi nikafungua. Akina James Kehara, John Masaria na watu wengine wakakuja wakanishika shingo, wakanifuruta nguo, wakaanza kunikatakata sehemu yangu ya siri.
She says she's among a growing number of women in Murang'a County who forcibly undergo female genital mutilation to quench the thirst of a brutal belief of an outlawed gang that women in the region must undergo the cut.
Mimi nikakibia mpaka kwa chapchifu wa kwetu anaitwa Mwangi wa Ndarwa. Mwangi wa Ndarwa aliniambia nienda nikubali, si mimi wa kwanza kutairiwa.
She's among a big number of women who are suffering in silence.
Kutoka hiyo siku maisha yangu imekuwa magumu sana kwa sababu kazi yangu nilikuwa na breed na tafika damu, hata kukula ni shida na mimi sina mahali ya kuenda kazi. Mwili yangu haina nguvu.
The incident comes as President Uhuru Kenyatta raises an alarm over increasing cases of gender-based violence in the African continent. Caroline Kamau reporting for Business Insight.
Well, it is at that point where we take a quick break here on Business Insight. We shall be back with more. Do stay with us.
Please deposit this money into my account real quick.
May I know your account, please?
Michael Bakayoko. My account is 01826.
Thank you for banking with us.
It's my first time to bank. Could I ask how safe is my money? Or maybe I should just continue with my mattress banking. I think I should go back.
How are you, Mr. Bakayoko? How may I help you this time?
Well,
have come back to confirm the safety of my money. The one that I deposited earlier today.
Oh, I guess you haven't banked with us for some time. Now listen, whenever you deposit your money, be rest assured of its safety because you're a responsible bank which is a member of the KDIC. See that sticker there?
KDIC?
KDIC is mandated by law to provide insurance for your deposits.
Now I know. No more mattress banking.
Be sure. Check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
When we are saying the last mile is because we have one area that we have not yet attained what we are looking for, and that's elimination of mother-to-child transmission. In their countries that have eliminated mothers passing on HIV to their children, in Kenya we haven't. That is actually the foundation or the bedrock of the First Lady's initiative. And so the First Lady cannot do it alone. Ministry of Health cannot do it alone. And so what we are doing as NAC is working with the counties so that we can all, so that if a mother, before she even gets pregnant, can she know her status? Because if you know your status, that's the first way of making sure that you prevent passing on the virus to the children.
Watu wangu wa mjei, strong. Unajua kurejista na NCA, National Construction Authority, inamaanisha nini?
Inamaanisha umetambulika kama fundi wa mijengo hodari kulingana na ujuzi wako.
Inamaanisha umesimamiwa kiafya, kikazi, kimalipo na kisheria kote Kenya.
Inamaanisha pia umeaminika. Wewe sio fundi bandia na kwa hivyo utaitiwa kazi mingi.
Be sure, Jenga Smart, to ensure the safe construction of all residential, commercial structures, roads and other works. The National Construction Authority is directing all contractors to be registered with and workers accredited by the authority to ensure compliance with the construction regulations of Kenya. Reach our customer care team on 0709 126 173, 0709 126 102 and 0709 126 172. National Construction Authority. Building a strong Kenya.
Bwana Motiso, pikipiki yako ndio hii. Uko shwani yangu. Hii pikipiki ni unakumbuka uniekelea the lowest unique bid yako ilikuwa ngapi? 18 shillings. 18 shillings. Na unajua kuendesha hii gari? Kidogo. Haya, kitoko yako shika helmet, kifungu yako chomoka na mali yako.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
I'm walking on the streets of Konza Technopolis. Yes, you got it right. The African Silicon Savannah is slowly but surely taking shape. But the question is this: what do we need to do to accelerate the progress of Konza?
The project is taking shape. As you can see, the Konza complex is up and the roads are ongoing construction and the project is becoming a reality.
This week on Inside Government, we talked to Kotida Chief Executive Officer, Engineer John Tanui, on the progress of Konza and the future of the African Silicon Savannah, right here on KBC Channel 1.
Unaita nani msee kwanza wewe?
Umeona baba yako hapa? Mkitualipia watoto namna hivi, sisi vijana tutaoa wakina nani?
Sasa ukiwa kijana mimi nitaitwa nini?
Mote amekundiboswa. Hapana. Amefanya nini? Amemadhuna. Amemadhuna. How can I kill myself when I'm still breathing?
Ulisema hivyo ili hiyo time tulikuwa na shida sana, ukasema tupange hiyo njama ili tupate ile pesa tuweze kujiendeleza katika maisha.
Wait a minute.
Welcome back. You are watching Business Insight with me, Betty Kiptum, and Lucy Moura, my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Now, the Senate Justice and Legal Affairs Committee has given the green light to a motion that seeks to amend electoral laws to remove a requirement that those vying for electoral seats must be holders of a university degree. The Okongo Omogeni chaired committee agreed with the submissions that Section 22 of the electoral law is discriminatory.
The date of commencement of the law requiring aspirants for the position of MCAs and Member of Parliament to be degree holders may be pushed ahead if Parliament passes bills that require the law to be pushed past 2022. The Senate Justice and Legal Affairs Committee on Thursday approved amendment bills by Narok Senator Ledama Olekina and Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kiptum Murkomen seeking to quash the application of the law in Section 22 of the Elections Act, which prescribes minimum qualification for elected leaders in both spheres of government.
The thing that is will remain though a very thorny issue that we must resolve is whether you can deny someone a right they enjoy at the moment.
I'm only taking into consideration issues relating to marginalized areas where the level of literacy is quite low.
The senators argue the Elections Act in its form is discriminatory and restrictive on persons qualified to hold public offices but lack requisite certificates.
That other than the proposal for academic qualifications, this committee must ideally get into the election calendar, election laws, so that we don't do piecemeal. We do a comprehensive legal framework on our elections 2022.
As the Senate resumes sittings next week, Tuesday, considering the two amendments by Senators Kiptum Murkomen and Ledama Olekina will be key in their businesses. But the resolution of the Senate will have to go through the National Assembly before it takes effect on the Elections Act. Reporting for Business Insight, I'm Kevin Washira.
Let's now do the business. Dwindling returns from maize and French beans prompted farmers in Taita Taveta to consider other options such as Irish potato farming. Those who embraced Irish potato farming say the food crop is much more lucrative. Experts project that the acreage under Irish potatoes is likely to increase from the current 250 acres to 5,000 acres in the next 3 years, based on the shift by farmers towards the food crop.
These were previously French bean farmers.
Yeke in terms of money, nilikuwa napata kama magunia 3 ama mawili, ambapo nikiangalia nikivuna viazi hapa naweza vuna gunia 10 ama 12, ambapo nikiangalia nikiuza gunia moja tu peke yake ya hiyo kiazi inanunulia more than 90 kg sack of maize.
However, they say the labor-intensive crop had lower returns as the high cost of production ate into the earnings. Besides, there are seasons when the French beans and maize crop failed due to harsh weather patterns.
Sasa nikaona hapana, wacha nijaribu kilimo cha mahindi. Kilimo cha mahindi nacho kikawa na changamoto. Unalima mahindi, kama hii area sana sana tunasumbuliwa na tumbili. Sasa ikawa mchana unalinda tumbili, usiku unakuja unaibiwa na watu sasa.
Under the Accelerated Value Chain program by IRI, the farmers were introduced to potato farming. Although originally some were hesitant, those who tried it out had successful stories helping learn more to the food crop.
Kutoka kwa viazi ni kwamba viazi tulipoingilia hiyo gharama ya viazi ni kwamba viazi kiasi cha kilo 50 napata kwa gharama 3,000, na nikiangalia gharama yake ile ninatumia shambani ni kwamba haiendi kapita 4,000.
As cultivation of the crop start to catch on, it is mostly done on smaller pieces of land, mostly on trial basis as farmers weigh their options. Most of the farmers are yet to gain confidence in potato farming and grow the crop on a 1/8 of an acre piece of land.
Tafadhali, mtalala njaa na maragu iko wapi? Iko shamba, lakini ukipanda viazi utauza na nyumbani kwako utafanya nini?
ILRI experts say with proper crop husbandry, one can harvest about 25 tons of potato from an acre of land each planting season.
So we have farmers now who are doing 15 bags, 18 bags, and moving to almost half an acre. 1 acre to 1.5 acre.
Irish potatoes has a ready market in their localities, as workers in the nearby Saso plantation troop into the villages in search of the produce. A kilo of Irish potato in Taita Taveta retails at an average of 55 shillings.
Na vile viazi hivyo niliviuza kwa kilo shilingi 50 na vingi nilikula. Hata wakati nilikuja kupima vile tayari nilikuwa nimeshakula vingine, hata labda vilikuwa vitoke zaidi.
The confidence in growing Irish potatoes has been growing at a high rate that experts believe that the area is likely to grow 20 times the land under Irish potatoes from the current 250 acres to 5,000 acres in 3 years.
215. That is the stand in the county. So you can see the difference from 50 to 210 acres within from 2019 to 2021. And the target for FPO and the county is to reach 6,000 farmers doing Irish potato.
Potato farmers here have formed a cooperative for aggregating their produce for negotiating for better prices. Farmers under the potato cooperative plan to invest in a cold storage plant to reduce post-harvest losses and secure earnings, especially during periods when there is a glut of potatoes in the market.
Also engaging with the processors and also us, all our 21 member PO, that is smaller producer organization, will be there to engage these partners. And we're inviting more partners to come on board in terms of supporting.
Benson Rioba reporting for KBC Business Insight.
As an employee, do you know how much pay-as-you-earn tax, commonly known as payee, you remit to KRA? Payee is a tax chargeable on employment income of over 24,000 shillings per month. In this week's edition of Tax 101, our reporter Caroline Jenga details us more about the pay-as-you-earn tax. Take a look.
Pay-as-you-earn, commonly referred to as payee, is the mandatory tax levied on all employees' gross income of over 24,000 shillings per month. In Kenya, the government manages the payee tax through the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, which collects the statutory contributions from the employer on salaries and wages paid to employees. This income tax applies to all employees, permanent, temporary, full-time and part-time, except for those whose employment period is not longer than a month. Payee applies to wages, salaries, commissions, allowances, fees, bonuses and any other income for which an employee earns for services provided to an employer. It is the employer's statutory duty to deduct payee from the salaries or wages of the employees.
Then come the end of the year, the employer will be able to see how much tax was deducted from the given employee, and the employer will be able to issue a tax deduction card to the given employees as the evidence that the employer deducted the tax from you.
The normal pay year runs from 1st January to 31st December, but it is filed and remitted monthly by the employer. The law requires that payee returns be filed and tax paid on or before the 9th of the following month. Pay-as-you-earn follows the progressive taxation system where higher incomes are taxed more than lower incomes, as Kenya Revenue Authority Tax Manager Wanja Wangondu explains. In addition, individual tax bands and rates vary between 10% and 30%.
Let's assume you earn 100,000. So we take this 100,000 and remove from the 100,000 we take the first 24,000 multiplied by 10%. That gives us 2,400. Now from our total, which is 100,000, we less 24,000. That will give us allowed 76,000. Then the next 8,333, we tax it at 25%. And then now we take now the whole, so it was 100, we less 24, and now we have less 8,333. The balance will be of about 67,667. That one now we tax at 30% to give us the tax payable. So you'll notice that for somebody who is earning allowed 100,000, the tax that they will end up paying in a given year, in a given month, will be totaling to close to allowed 20,000.
Currently, the government has the leeway to adjust the tax rate or band subject to Parliament's approval. Payee returns are submitted online via iTax. If you have no payee to declare, you are required to submit a nil return. If there is a shortfall between how much tax was paid and how much was actually due, the taxpayer will have to make up the difference once they file their annual tax return. Late filing of returns attracts penalty of 25% of the tax due or 10,000 shillings, whichever is higher.
The payee tax rates in Kenya vary. However, many Kenyans out there do not know how to calculate their monthly payee. But with technology, Kenya Revenue Authority has unveiled the payee calculator that helps you determine how much your employer has deducted from your salary. Caroline Jenga for Business Insights.
We hope that you now have a better understanding of just how payee works. Now, David Kiaria says his business was inspired by the disruption caused by introduction of new transport rules, commonly known as the Mishuki rules. With high demand for speed governors, Kiaria founded Dalcom. On this episode of The Enterprise, Regina Manyara talks to Kiaria about Dalcom's 17-year business.
2004 amendments to the Traffic Act came into effect amid protests from PSV operators and commuters. The rule required all PSVs to install speed governors, safety belts, ply specific routes, and ferry a reduced number of passengers.
You know very well, when we have proper public relation in a company, what happens? The company thrives. But when there is no public relation, then the company goes down.
This was met by resistance from PSV operators, and at the fore was David Kiaria. Amid the push and pull, he was among those invited to a meeting at State House where he had a chilling encounter with the late Transport Minister, John Mishuki.
In my life, I've never been in such a situation, because I was regretting why I went to that State House.
The encounter opened his eyes to a business opportunity in which he invested, albeit skeptical.
Because at first he was very tough on me, and as we discussed, I gave him my story, and then even today, I remember very well, he told me, I want you to be an ambassador on road safety. The energy you're using to fight me, can you please be an ambassador to road safety in this country?
As one would imagine, business was not all rosy.
Now that is from that time, I had to do a proper turn about from now the strikes of the Matatu, going back to thinking about how now I can be in the business of selling the speed governors and the belts. It was not easy at all because already I had imported some safety belts. Now it was difficult to go and tell the same people, now buy this belt for me. So, they thought I had sold them and it was not that good.
Looking back at his 17-year business, now valued at over 50 million shillings, Kiaria says being resilient has kept the enterprise afloat.
Let me say, because even my business to do with selling speed governors and anything else is not more important than saving lives on our roads. So with me, I know with all what I do, I have saved many lives in this country. And that is what I call an achievement, because if there is anything I can do, if I can fix a speed governor in a vehicle, and maybe the vehicle would have caused an accident, and I'm able to detect that from this office when a vehicle is doing an overspeed, I'm able to call the owner before the accident happens, and then I'm able to save, even if it is one life. To me, that is what I call my achievement.
Among his employees is his son, Dennis Kiaria, who studied electrical and telecommunications, and now he's mentoring.
As we can see the vehicle, once we install a vehicle with the governor, we can see the vehicle, the location, the speed, the owner's details, and the everything concerning the owner on the detail. The owner can see the vehicle, and also NTSA can also be able to view the vehicle. If there is any violation with the vehicle, the information is sent directly to us and also to NTSA. So we usually take action by reporting it to NTSA, then they follow up with the owner of the vehicle. So basically this is simulator, and this it's not yet installed. So basically what we do, we usually connect it like so.
Kiaria's business has also borne the brunt of COVID-19 disruptions.
What is your post-recovery strategy?
We have started, because you see now this is where we normally do our assembly, and because of the way the costs, now we are doing simple assemblies at the main office, and our workers go in turns so that every worker gets something at the end of the month. So they have divided themselves. Everybody must work 2 weeks in a month, so that at least we can give them half salary in a month. And if things work well, we are ready if they open the inspection the right way. Yeah.
So as we come to a close, sir, would you term your business as a successful enterprise?
Let me say it is a successful enterprise, because you can imagine if I started with 3 employees to 56, and we have done, it is a success as a fact here.
What would be your secret? Someone who wants to get into such a business,
yes.
What has been your secret over the years?
First of all, you have to believe in God. That is the first thing. And then you must be very patient, because there's no way you will start a business today and it peaks tomorrow. It takes time for it to peak. You have to give yourself time, and a very successful business, you must give it at least 6 months to see whether you are going to succeed. So what I believe is that if you are patient in any business you are starting, and you have vision of what you want, you have an objective of what you want, then what is the objective of your business? What do you want to do? Our business, like us here, is to make sure that people are not dying on the road.
Kiaria's advice is that when you find your niche, invest in it.
He wants to do a speed, but the gadget is to make sure that the speed maintained in that vehicle does not exceed 80. I can give you, during Michuki time, when we were losing 3,600 people every year, and when we introduced the speed governor, that year alone, we had about only 1,200 people. So to be very sincere, speed governors save lives.
Opportunities indeed lie in the most unexpected places. All you need is business acumen and patience. You're watching The Enterprise, and I am Regina Manyara.
Now to magical scenes. The Mwangeka sacred caves located within Vuria Hills in Taita, Taveta County have been in existence for centuries, but few people beyond the region know the history behind the natural voids. Tonight on Magical Scenes, Irene Muchuma Odim tells the story of the caves that have over the years transformed the location into a much preferred tourist destination.
According to folklore, the Mwangeka sacred caves within Vuria Hills in Taita Taveta County were used by Mwangeka Wamaloa, a famous chief in the area, as a base of operation in the fight against oppression from Arabs and the Britons in 1890s. Centuries later, the caves are part of the historic appeal of the area that now attracts tourists in their numbers. To experience the magic of the destination, a hike is recommended, beginning with a climb of 1,800 feet above sea level, the alleged highest point in the larger coastal region. The path is a smooth terrain to the top, the vegetation undisturbed and the scenery breathtaking. Back to history, legend has it that during Mwangeka Wamaloa's reign, Arab traders crossing to Zanzibar from Mombasa were required to pay taxes, a demand they found annoying.
Mapango yaliyoko juu, lile la juu kabisa ni pahala ambako watu walikuwa wanakutana kutengeneza dawa za kufanya nini? Kuzuia maadui wasije wakaja pande hii ya kushika wa Taita.
Mzungu ndiye alikuja kuharibu utawala wa Taita. Na Wataita waelewe kwamba Mwangeka si kiongozi wa Wamanda. Mwangeka ni kiongozi wa Wataita wote. Kuanzia huko Umingu, Undanyi, Sagala, paka Taveta.
It is said the chief met his death after one of his pointmen betrayed him. The caves, which provided a safe haven for Mwangeka's warriors after his demise, have over the years retained their initial structure, comprising 4 chambers sectioned into a sleeping area, kitchen, which also served as an armory, and maternity section.
Kuna pango la kwanza, la pili na la tatu, alafu la nne. Pango la kwanza mwenzangu hakueleza, nitayasema ya kwamba lilikuwa ni pahala pa askari. Yaani adui akija wanamzuia pale. Pango la pili lilikuwa ni la kina mama na wazee. Pango la tatu lilikuwa ni pahala pa kupikia na pahala pa kuweka silaha. Pango la nne ilikuwa ni pahala pa maternity. Si mnajua kina mama kwa sababu walikaa hapa muda mrefu, watu wengine walizaliwa hapa. Sasa wale waliozaliwa hapa walikuwa maternity yao ilikuwa kando, kusudi mama akijifungua anajifungua pahala pazuri.
Residents in the neighborhood have nothing but admiration for their legends, and as a show of gratitude, want the Mwangeka sacred caves preserved for the benefit of future generations. Irene Mchuma Odim, Magical Sense in the county of Taita Taveta.
Remember, you can interact with us throughout this bulletin on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are at KBC Channel 1 News. On Twitter, we are at KBC Channel 1. My personal Twitter handle is at Betty Kiptum. Just to sample a few of your comments here. Kamau Thumbi, you say you are watching. Thank you very much. Loteba Kibaron as well, I see you. You say you are watching, as well as Monoi Amos, Wycliffe Kola, $1 Bramwell. You are all watching. Thank you very much for just giving us your comments there. We shall be sampling more later during the bulletin. Do stay with us. We take a quick break. We'll be back with more.
If you have been in contact with someone who is suspected or has tested positive for COVID-19, self-quarantine for 14 days and call 7194 for help. Self-quarantine restricts movement and the spread of the disease and protects your family, friends, and community from being infected. During self-quarantine, you are advised to stay in a separate room, disinfect surfaces and clothing with appropriate disinfectant, avoid sharing household items, including utensils, towels, and beddings, do not receive visitors, wear an appropriate face mask if you must be around other people. COVID-19 is preventable. Protect yourself, family, and the community. This message has been brought to you by the Government of Kenya and its partners.
The future of money is simple, like unlocking possibilities with a smile. And having the world in the palm of your hand. It's the ability to touch many lives at the same time and turn your dreams into reality. It's forgetting and still remembering. Simple is having everything that you love in one place. From the ticket to your next meal, to your ticket to the next holiday. It's an easy way to ask for a boost when you're low. And keeping track of everything on the go. The future of money is simple, and it's here. Download the new M-Pesa app today.
This week on the season premiere of Africa's hottest new show, Rura, we take you on a safari in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Get your adrenaline pumping and revving to go, and if that's not enough, we take you on a tour of what could possibly be the most photographed home in Africa. It's simply inspiring. That's all.
Welcome back. Now, Kenya Power is cautioning those living in informal settlements to shun the use of illegally connected power to stem electrical accidents that have led to the loss of property, injuries and deaths. The utility firm's managing director, Bernard Ngugi, says the illegal electricity connections were causing overloads on transformers, which compromises the quality of power supply to legally connected customers.
Make in terms of money. Lives do not matter to them.
He says illegal electricity connections are responsible for overloads on transformers, which compromises the quality of electricity supply. Kenya Power is now carrying out sensitization programs to promote public safety and reduce electricity theft, which include illegal connections and tampering with meters.
We are also going to really do an elaborate program to come out and let wananchi know that it's good to have good, non-life-threatening supply of power.
Commercial losses contribute about half of the Kenya Power system losses, which stood at 23.46% as at June 2020. Now, most of us refer to virtual video conferences simply as Zoom, even though, among others, Google Meet, Cisco, WebEx, GoToMeeting and Slack offer the similar services. But the outbreak of coronavirus has driven technology companies to enhance features on their video conferencing apps as they seek a pie of the growing and high demand for such services. In this episode of Take One, our reporter Alan Aoko looks at how social media platform Twitter is now enabling users to hold virtual meetings.
On social media, of course you are. But are you aware that there is more ways than one to engage in the social space besides posting photos of yourself and or your favorite pet? Take a look. 1 in 5 Kenyans is said to be a social media user, according to Resource Library Data Reportal 2021 statistics. This is a huge market, and this does not apply to Kenyans alone. Perhaps this is why social media firm Twitter has recently joined the list of technology firms offering conferencing services. The firm introduced a new way to have live audio conversations on the platform. The new feature, dubbed Spaces, is an audio social platform that allows users with more than 600 followers to hold audio forums, thereby allowing you to gather with a person or a group for conversations. Here, the creator of a space, being the host, can only allow 10 individuals to speak, while the rest can only listen in. The Silicon Valley-based company describes Spaces as a place to come together, built around the voices of the people using Twitter. The feature is already gathering traction in Kenya, with trips holding or joining into meetings.
So he was aligning himself to the courts that have delivered
On the 20th of May, a senior counsel, Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, whose Twitter handle is verified, held such a meeting. That morning, he tweeted, "Join me this evening at 7:30 p.m. on Space to discuss and deconstruct the High Court's judgment on the BBI case." He successfully held the meeting that was pushed to start at 9 p.m. and went on into late into the night. Creators of forums like this have noted the conversational appetite of potential users that could be curtailed by COVID-19 restrictions, limiting the number of people who can meet at a go, or travel restrictions that could otherwise lead to cancellation of meetings or conferences. Indeed, COVID-19 is disrupting the way we live and in some ways making our lives easier.
It is clear that your involvement in social media has made the companies that are involved in creating these social media spaces active in trying to get your attention and trying to innovate so as to get other ways of getting your attention in the social media space. Alan Aoko, Take One.
Bwana Motiso, pikipiki yako ndio hii. Uko shoni yangu. Hii pikipiki ni unakumbuka uniekelea the lowest unique bid yako ilikuwa ngapi? 18 shillings. Na unajua kuendesha hii gari? Kidogo. Haya, kitoko yako shika helmet, kifungu yako chomoka na mali yako.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Please deposit this money into my account real quick.
May I know your account, please?
Michael Bakayoko. My account is 01826.
Thank you for banking with us.
It's my first time to bank. Could I ask how safe is my money? Or maybe I should just continue with my mattress banking. I think I should go back.
How are you, Mr. Bakayoko? How may I help you this time?
Well, I have come back to confirm the safety of my money. The one that I deposited earlier today.
Oh, I guess you haven't banked with us for some time. Now listen, whenever you deposit your money, be rest assured of its safety because you're a responsible bank which is a member of the KDIC. See that sticker there?
KDIC?
KDIC is mandated by law to provide insurance for your deposits.
Now I know. No more mattress banking.
Be sure. Check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
Well, good evening once again. I'm Richard Munga with the day's sports. Now, Africa 3,000 meters champion Emmanuel Kiplagat won the men's 5,000 meters semi-final one on day one of the under-20 national trials at the Kasarani Stadium. The trials will be used to select Team Kenya ahead of the World Under-20 Athletics Championships. The global event is slated for August 17th to the 22nd at the Kasarani Stadium. Emmanuel Kiplagat won the 5,000 meters race in a time of 13 minutes 56.86 seconds ahead of Benson Kiplagat and Ruben Musin, who finished in a time of 13 minutes 57.49 seconds and 13 minutes 58.47 seconds respectively. The women's 3,000 meters was venue for redemption for Zena Chemutai, fourth at the World Under-20 5,000 meters championships in Finland back in 2018. Chemutai finished second behind Japan-based Teresia Mutoni in in what is expected to be a tough duel in the finals tomorrow. In the second semi-final, Margaret Chepngetich longs to atone for failing to travel to Lome, Togo for the Africa Cross Country Championships in 2020 and 2021 due to COVID-19 pandemic. Things were no different in women's 1500 meter semi-finals, with Purity Cherotich and Maureen Cherotich standing out as COVID-19 pandemic casualties. The two made the 2020 and 2021 Africa Cross Country teams. Cherotich, fourth in the 1500 meters at the 2019 Africa Juniors, longs to make amends in the finals tomorrow. Meanwhile, World Under-20 Championship Local Organizing Committee has signed deals with 7 hotels that will host athletes and officials that will be coming to Kenya for the World Junior Competition. The trials for the international showpiece kicked off today at the Kasarani Stadium and is set to conclude on Saturday. The event, going down on the 17th to the 22nd at Kasarani, has attracted more than 120 member federation countries, with up to 1,300 athletes expected to participate. Accommodation for visiting teams is assured after 2020 World Athletics Under-20 Championship Local Organizing Committee signed contract with a number of hotels. The LOC entered deals with 7 hotels that will host athletes and officials for the World Junior Competition. Over 3,000 athletes, officials and members of the media are expected in the country for the event that will be held from August 17th to 22nd at the Kasarani Stadium. Among the hotels that signed contracts was Safari Park Hotel, which will be World Athletics Family Hotel, Ole Sereni, which will be the team's hotel, as well as accreditation and medical center.
The choice of hotels has been very, very carefully thought through. And we've had the team that came in from Monaco. They came in and walked through the hotels they're working with and have confirmed and reaffirmed that they're happy with the choices we've made. So we're very proud to say this morning that indeed we've picked some of the best spaces available within Nairobi that would help us also get the athletes to Kasarani, to Nyayo Stadium, which will be a training area, easily and quickly.
Ole Sereni Group CEO Gulam Samdani noted that they are conversant with the bubble concept, having hosted participants during the Kenya Open Golf Championship and Savannah Classic Golf Championship in March this year.
Is there any better welcome to Kenya than that? When you come inside and it's very surreal, because on one side you are seeing the nature, on the other side you are seeing the human traffic. So, and any given day we have we can spot most of the game, and so that's always something that it comes with.
Utali Hotel will host technical officials. Besides providing accommodation, Eka Hotel will have a special COVID-19 isolation center, while Sportsview Hotel has been set aside as the media hotel. Tamarind Tree and Sarova Panafric are the other hotels that will offer support. Well, that's all the time we had for sports tonight, but just as an update, an international update, the NBA Finals, we finally have one team that has qualified from the Western Conference. Of course, that is the Phoenix Suns, after beating the Los Angeles Clippers earlier today. And, well, in the Western Conference, we have the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Atlanta Hawks. The 7-game series is tied at 2-2. More updates to follow, but for now, that's it. I'm Richard Munga. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Now I'll take you back to Brenda, to Kiptum, rather, to Betty Kiptum. Have a good night.
Well, thank you very much, Richard Munga, there with the latest in sports. Of course, I've been away for a while. He might have forgotten my name, but we, of course, appreciate your company tonight on Business Insight. General Tonje on Twitter, as well as many of you who have just given your comments there. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Betty Kiptum from Lucy Moura and the rest of the team that made this possible. Do have yourself a good night. Bye-bye.
Yes.
into the future of railway cargo transport, presented to you by Kenya Railways. We understand that the greatest challenge in long-distance cross-border traffic is the reliable and timely movement of freight, and so the Madaraka Express brings you the best modern rail service available in the East African region today. Kenya Railways has established an integrated transport service with start and destination responsibility. We are here to move you and your cargo across from the coastal port city of Mombasa to your destination reliably, safely, and efficiently by operating a high-frequency, long-distance connection service that links the railway system with road and marine transport points. We do this by providing the necessary connectivity from the port of Mombasa to the hinterland. As a customer, your biggest interest is the ultimate arrival of your goods on time and in the best condition. Thanks to the Madaraka Express freight service from Mombasa to Naivasha and the revamped meter gauge railway connections from Naivasha to Kisumu and Malaba, Kenya Railways is positioned to deliver ever higher economic impact across the East African region. Whether it be conventional cargo, containerized cargo, or any other cargo, we connect markets and are there where we are needed 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Today, we have an enhanced service that includes a number of cargo trains moving both directions between Mombasa and Nairobi. The double-stacked Madaraka Express freight service operates cargo trains daily that deliver more than 1,000 containers to the 2 inland container depots in Nairobi and Naivasha respectively. We create the decisive competitive advantage on the market for customers due to Madaraka Express punctuality and reliability. Madaraka Express freight service ensures speedy service by taking only 8 hours from Mombasa to Nairobi. The goods that are transported from the Naivasha Inland Container Depot will take approximately 10 hours to arrive in Kampala, ensuring that Madaraka Express freight service comprehensive end-to-end logistics network connects seamlessly to onward destinations including Kigali, Bujumbura, and Kisangani. Kenya Railways employees combine expertise with passion to implement future-oriented, achievable, and implementable logistics solutions. From the gateway port of Mombasa, we are currently carrying more than 4 million tons of goods a year to their destinations in a safe, reliable, and efficient manner. Madaraka Express freight service is designed with the client's preference in mind, affording them peace of mind whenever their goods are on the move until the time of delivery. Kenya Railways, right on track.
Vera Beauty College. Vera Beauty and Fashion College with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725-000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
Siku moja mosquito ilipata ujauzito, ikazaa mtoto. Sasa hiyo mama ya mosquito ikatuma mtoto mosquito iende ikapige doria, iwaje kukaa kwa nyumba. Sasa hii mtoto mosquito ikaenda ikarudi. Hii mtoto mosquito ikaambia mama yake, mama, mimi nimeenda kila mahali watu wanapigia mimi makofi, watu wamefurahiana na mimi sana. Mama, hii mosquito ikaambia mtoto yake, hao wapigi wewe makofi eti wanafurahia wewe. Hiyo walikuwa wanataka kuua wewe.
Ili kupata skiza tune hiyo ya mosquito,
more. Bonyeza star 811 star 967 hash. Bonyeza star 811 star 967 hash.